Ready, Anna Michael, you can press record and start from the beginning, welcoming Rachel or not Rachel, her client name, Justine.
Hi, good morning. I'm Anna Michael, and I am a licensed clinical social worker. Um, but I just want to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about why you're here.
Hi, my name is Justine, and I recently lost my 3-year-old son to leukemia. And
Rachel, be hesitant. Okay, don't engage right away. Ask questions. Okay, be a little challenging. Like, before I talk to you, I just want to make sure I'm in the right place, or
okay,
I'm feeling a little embarrassed about this, and let her engage you. Okay, don't engage right away.
okay.
Okay.
Um,
Do you want to start again, Anna Michael? I think
sure.
your last comment, you could just kind of repeat. Like to give you this opportunity to introduce yourself and why you're here.
Yes, I just wanted to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself.
Well, I've never done something like this before. This is all new to me, and I'm a little nervous being here today, especially with the circumstances. I never found that I would be in this position.
I can understand that. Maybe I could explain a little further to help put you at ease. As
Yes.
a licensed clinical social worker, I do provide a client centered therapies. And just to speak briefly talk about confidentiality, everything is confidential within me and my agency. So you can feel assured that what you say is completely confidential unless there is imminent serious harm to yourself or others. But otherwise, everything you say is confidential.
When you say you and your agency, can you tell me specifically what you mean by that?
Yeah, so I work closely with a supervisor and other therapists within the agency just to make sure that I'm providing the best care for you.
Okay, I understand. Um, my name is Justine, and I'm here today because I had recently lost my 3-year-old son to leukemia, and I've been feeling very angry and sad, more specifically at God. My family and I are very religious, and we feel that things like this don't happen to good families. And I've been feeling lost and confused. And people are have been telling me to get over it and to move on, but I don't know how to make the pain go away, so I'm hoping that you can help me.
It seems that you're feeling a bit rushed during your grieving process.
Yes, I feel like nobody understands the pain and the loss that I'm feeling with losing my 3-year-old son. He's the only child that I have.
Yeah, I can understand that pain is difficult and it seems to affect your relationship with God and with your family.
Yes, I don't know where to go from here.
So it seems that you're feeling a bit lost.
Yes, and I'm hoping that there is something that you can do to help me.
Yes, I am definitely here to help you and listen and be there for you.
What are the things that I can do to not feel this way? How can I help move on with and continue my grieving process.
I think you have taken a great first step just by coming in here and being open and sharing your story with me.
Thank you. This was
I'm gonna pause there. I don't know if we need to debrief. Rachel, you're very good. I'm feeling very sad just listening to you know, feeling sympathy, but I gotta say to Anna Michael, you stayed with the client. You you know, met her with the seriousness of it, and we'll ask the group for, you know, what were some good examples of, you know, starting with where the client was and really listening to her. So Dom, do you have some feedback, or is that Dev?
It was me. So as everyone's going, I'm like writing down like the steps of, or like just every event that's taking place so I can kind of label it. So under step 9, I think Rachel said something about like, this was my only child. I'm feeling particularly sad. I don't know where to go. I really liked how Anna Michael responded in terms of saying like, so you're feeling sad. Then she kind of took the empathy to like level 4 or 5 by kind of further expressing how she was feeling. Rachel would have been feeling, but she didn't get super specific. She kind of like dug a little deeper. So would that be reflecting feeling for that step?
Yeah, well, a lot of her a lot of her responses were reflecting feeling. You're feeling a bit rushed. I can understand that it's very painful. So there was a lot of reflection of feeling throughout.
Okay.
And there was paraphrase in terms of just things, you know, it's affecting your relationship with God and family. It was kind of a good summary because it was pulling some things from before to what she said most recently. So you were very attuned, you were very responsive to what the client was saying. Thanks, Dev. All right, Walida, you had some feedback or questions?
I actually was about to say exactly what you just said, that she was so attuned to the content of what Rachel was saying, and she was responsive, and she was like, I felt like you were one with Rachel. You know, you were just feeling her, and you were like holding her in a safe place, and you were very good.
Excellent, excellent. For all of the rest of you folks, you saw at the beginning, Rachel had some good questions as the client that made Anna and Michael work a little harder to engage. Take that even a little bit longer, okay? Just so again, if to ask about, you know, specifically what services, because Anna Michael explained generally what the services were, but we want to be able to explain them in a little bit more depth. So a good example was, you know, Rachel's client said, you know, what do I have to do to feel better? And so Anna Michael, good on the positive feedback. Well, you took a good first step in, you know, making this appointment and, you know, being brave to meet with me. And at that point, you could explain that, you know, we've got some choices here. You could do individual, family and group counseling. You know, the advantages of individual is, you know, whatever concerns you have, I can deal with those. And if you're, you know, wanting to, you know, process some of your feelings in a safe environment, if you want me to help you to learn about what are the stages of loss and grieving, we can talk about those and how you can respond to other people in your family. You mentioned a couple of times that family members are putting pressure on you to just, you know, get over it. So there's also the possibility of family counseling where we bring everyone in together and we talk about, you know, how the whole family is processing the grief and loss and how it's important that people provide support rather than push one another. One of the advantages.
It just said
Sorry?
others. It didn't specifically say that the family
Okay.
was pressuring, just others.
Okay. 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 Again, you can talk about, you know, so an advantage is we get to deal with everybody together, but sometimes clients don't feel ready to, you know, talk about these issues with family members. They may need to work on themselves first. The other thing we could do is, you know, group work. And so sometimes people feel very alone and not sure how to handle things. And if we referred you to a group, you might appreciate, you know, hearing about other people's experiences with their losses, what they've done to cope with it, and you may be able to learn from them. Some people don't like group work because they prefer not to share, they're kind of private, or they're kind of shy about speaking up in group. You don't have to make any of those decisions today. We'll, assess what's going on, and later on you can decide, whether you want to work with me individually or with family or group work. So just so you're starting to offer, different types of options. And I know Anna Michael was asking about, well, how do I do that? And we're just learning that. But for your upcoming scenarios, like for your take-home ones in particular, think about what your roles are, and maybe even do a little bit of research. And you're going to get to choose your scenarios, so it'll be a little bit easier than we just kind of stuck Anna Michael with this. And it's like, I've never dealt with this before, so where do I even start? All right, Margaret, you had feedback or a question?
Yeah, so aside from basically because I know I marked everything that she did. So I got providing information, summarizing, focusing, seeking concreteness, and she did a lot of great accent responses.
So rather than giving all the different ones, give me one example of a good accent or one good example of focusing.
Oh, okay. So when she said that she's mad at God, and then Anna Michael was like, okay, so I feel as if you're mad at God. So she focused on that one. And another one was—
So I would say, like, the client was already focused there. So I'm not sure that that's focusing. So if we didn't have a focus and then we did, so I think you picked out a good empathy statement. It was a good paraphrase, because it was about her, belief about God.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And do you remember what the accent response was?
I don't remember. No.
Okay. So when we're taking notes, you don't have to get everything. Like Margaret was comprehensive, but just get a few things and then give specific examples so we know what they were. So I tried to write down in the chat box what some of the things were. And Sarah says appropriately, what would that be a dual relationship if you did group work and individual work? So yes. So I guess what I would be offering at this point is we could do one or the other, or I could refer you. If we're doing individual, then I could refer you to someone else. So if that came up, could I see you for both individual and group work? Ideally, you refer them out. Sometimes, as I said before, people do individual and group work at the same agency. Not really ideal, and especially not ideal to do family work and individual work at the same time. Okay. Yeah, we talked about those last week. 1.06. All right. So let's break up into our groups. I'm gonna squeeze my screen so I can see who goes into which group. So I'm going to create a bunch of breakout rooms, and I'm going to ask you to go into a specific room. So if you can please listen to which group that you're in. So Izzy and Sarah, you're going to be in room 1. Aaliyah and Tamar. Oh, Tamar. Aaliyah's no longer in this class. So Tamar, Elizabeth, and Margaret, if you can be in one group. If you can be in group room 2. Sierra, Walida, and Lexi, if you can be in room 5. Lillian, Dev, and Charlie, if you can be in room 6. Francesca, Johanna, and Lindsay, room 8. Rachel, Anna Michael, room 9. Lacey, Dominic, room 10. Natalie and Michael, room 11. Angela and Dia in room 12. Anybody have a question about what room they're in? Okay, so I'm going to create a bunch of rooms and give you the option to move into those rooms yourself. Oh, I guess I kind of messed up. Now let's just stick with those rooms. Okay. So let participants move into rooms themselves. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you about 20 minutes and make sure that anyone who has not done a anybody who's not done a in-class interview, make sure that you get an opportunity to do it. I'll come around to the different rooms to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to video themselves. Okay. I'll have to make